Good to see you, my dear friends, and today we're going to review a new game that's called Borderlands 4. Borderlands 4 feels like an okay game, but it definitely wasn't exactly what I thought it would be. It feels like a big overcorrection due to the reception of 3. I was hesitant on making a review due to the mixed feelings and the lack of mixed button to press. Here are my honest thoughts after completing the game. First things is the fun game. Yes, it's a fun game with a lot of loot. That much was to be expected. If you thought Borderlands 3 or Borderlands 2 gameplay was fun, then you will find more of that here. As for it being open world, they basically took the open world style for Far Cry 5 and turned it into Borderlands. If you're not a fan of massive MMO style maps, then you might not enjoy this. As the game in the past were split into zones and had a more linear nature, the fun factor isn't really my gripe. With the game, as I ultimately think they did a good job there, is the story that bothers me. My issues is with the story itself, as it just feels almost non-existent. You barely ever see the timekeeper in the story, if at all. Just a big slog and a huge map to get to each big story boss of that particular region. Kill boss, on to the next one until eventually you got to this mysterious boogeyman known as the Timekeeper. There was hardly much of story in this game, and with the map being so massive, it only exacerbates the issues, which is why I said it feels like a slog. It just felt so blank to me for reason. The entire game feels like a big overcorrection due to the hate that 3 got, which in my opinion wasn't even all that bad. I actually enjoyed the vibe of 3 and I really like the music a lot. Despite the Calypso twin being annoying and cringe, they at least had some type of preference and slight charisma to them. The Timekeeper, on the other hand, has no of that. I say his lack of involvement in the story make him just as bad as the Calypso twins. It's like Gearbox was scared to upset the fans, so they played it safe by not doing much with the story presentation so that they don't make anybody mad like they did 3, and as a result 4 feels bland and almost boring because of it. And where's all of other character? You find Zane, Amara, Moxie, Claptrap, and eventually Little Bud that eats. Where is everybody else? What happened to Fel 4K, Mouse, Tennis, Marcus, and Ava? Now people hate it here, but I think it's honestly silly that she's not in the game at all simply because she became a siren. When my siren power transferred to her in Borderlands 3 to me, it felt implied that she was going to have relevance in the next title, especially considering the story sort of resolve around sirens and such. From that, I gather from the piece of lore. So why is she just completed absent from 4? She was on the ship with everybody else, so where is she? Almost feels like Gearbox just wrote her out completely due to the black flash from the fonts, but that's just as stupid because she was a siren. So then what happened to her siren power if that he caused? Maybe they are trying to figure out how to write her into 4 late games because they worried about how people are going to react. I also have a small suspicion that Vax was originally supposed to be Eva, and I can't help but shake that feeling. When Vax was first revealed, immediately was like that has to be her. She looks and sounds just like her but older. Did they change plan due to outrage about Eva? Perhaps I'm wrong and just consider it, but I truly am confused about all of this in regard the story I mean. No one of it makes sense to me personally, maybe I just need to give them more time to build everyone up. Ultimately, I think this is a great game, just a bit disappointing as it's suffering from a lack of an interesting story and character. It felt like the focus this time around was put more onto gameplay itself and less on the story. I'm not sure how to feel about it entire because they aren't done with it, as we still have DLC and such coming, though maybe they will address my problem with the game story-wise. Hope so many out there. Performance. This is one issue with Borderlands 3 even on higher and PC. My PC at this time wasn't the lowest spec machine and I still experienced it. A lot of frame drops, rare freeze and crashes. This game is much same. My PC is how the minimum spec required, yet I still should be able to run the game at low settings with DLCS on the get consistent frames with AR inconsistent. I game it on a laptop running games resolution, so I don't really bother with that. Audio issues. Sometimes when I launch this game I will see subtitles but not hear the character voice whatsoever. Usually restarting my PC or restarting the game fixed it, but I feel as thought this should not be an issue. I also get audio popping delay when loading into new areas or even intense. Know all about this one. I have played games similar to how. Thank you for watching guys, goodbye.